Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to look at integrated science for grade 9. This is the paper that internal cadence wrote in 2017. So this is the paper I'm going to revise with you. So please, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you find this video helpful, remember to share with your friends. I know the system or the way papers are prepared, the way it is prepared, it has changed. However, we're going to use this paper to revise. It's just that the format or the way the exams are being prepared which has changed, but the content is the same. So the same answers we'll be getting, these are the same answers we can even be giving during our final exam. So without wasting your time, I'm going to go straight into question 1. I'm not going to go through the instructions as I have already alluded to that. The way the exams are coming, it's different from the way it was prepared in 2017. So I'm not going to waste your time going through the instructions. But if you want to be conversant with instructions, please you can check on the videos that we have already done the papers for 2022, internal and external. So you can go there and go through them. We have gone through the instructions. Those are somehow similar or the same instructions that you expect in an exam. Okay, with that being said, let's go into question 1. Okay, so what will happen is I will be going forth and backwards and trying to check the questions and the diagrams. Okay, so this is the diagram that came. Let me try just to zoom it. Okay, like that. Okay, this is the diagram that came. So and students were supposed to study this diagram, so that's what we're going to do. So before we go to questions, we're going to first label this part correctly, more especially these parts that are given. So we start with P. What is P? So we know that P is fallopian tube, which is also called oviduct, oviduct. Okay, so that is fallopian tube or oviduct. So if someone says fallopian tube and the other one says oviduct, these two people, they are saying the same thing. Okay, we go to this one which is given here. This one, Q, is uterus. Q is uterus. Okay, R, what is R? R is cervix. Okay, so now once we have labeled these parts that that are given as letters, now we can go ahead and answer the questions. So I've done this so that it will be easier for us to refer to this diagram and give answers. Okay, so let's go to question number 1. Question number 1 is name the part labeled PQR. So like I did earlier on, I've labeled already the parts. So we have got P, which is fallopian tube or oviduct, Q, which is uterus, R, which is cervix. Okay, those are the answers. Okay, now we come to question B. In which labeled part does fertilization take place? So fertilization takes place in fallopian tube. Okay, in fallopian tube. So it's in oviduct and it's in P. So they said which labeled part does fertilization take place? So we know that it's in P. So we can write P, like that. Okay, we come to state one function of the part labeled R. So R is CAC, cervix. Okay, so the function of the cervix is to prevent miscarriage. Okay, so we can say to prevent miscarriage. Okay, so that the so that a person does not I just used capital letters there, which is not very good. Okay, I'm supposed to, okay, then to prevent miscarriage. To prevent miscarriage. Okay, so one of the functions of cervix is to prevent miscarriage. So that is the correct answer, to prevent miscarriage. We go to question D. Okay, state one importance of observing personal hygiene. Okay, so the importance of observing personal hygiene, one is the importance of observing personal hygiene is personal hygiene of the reproductive organ. Okay, state one importance of observing personal hygiene of the reproductive organs. So it is to avoid infections, so that is the importance of observing personal hygiene, is to avoid infection. So if you don't take care of your reproductive organs, you may develop some infections, which can be very sad. So you need to observe personal hygiene to avoid infections. Okay, and the other thing is also to avoid bad odor or smelling. So you can pick one of the two. So to avoid, so you can also say to prevent bad odor. Okay, bad odor. Okay, so that you prevent bad smelling. Okay, so that's why you observe personal hygiene, to avoid bad smelling. And you can see that if you don't take care of any part of your body, it's not only the reproductive organs that will develop infection. We all know if you don't take care of your teeth, there will be cavity in your teeth. If you don't take care of your body, you start stinking in general. So the best thing is every part of your body needs some attention. Basically, personal hygiene, you need to make sure that you maintain personal hygiene so that you eradicate bad odor and infections. Okay, let's go to question number 2. So question number 2 is coming from environment. The question is as follows. The diagram below shows a factory producing pollutants into the atmosphere. The diagram below shows a factory producing pollutants into the atmosphere. So we can take time and study the diagram. So we have got pollutants, chimney, and factory. Okay, now let's go to the questions, because here there is no part that we're asked to label. So we go direct to the question, which is question A. State one pollutant produced by the factory. Okay, so one pollutant that is produced by the factory, in general we can say smoke. Okay, we can say in general we can say smoke is produced. Okay, smoke in general, this smoke contains carbon monoxide. Smoke in general, just smoke itself, it has got its own effect, like when it comes to breathing. Okay, you may end up having respiratory diseases just as smoke in general. And it also, the smoke which also contains carbon monoxide, so it also contains carbon monoxide. So you can pick one of the two. So you can say smoke, smoke, and also let me just put a gap here, smoke and carbon monoxide. Okay, it also contains carbon monoxide. Okay, so this you can pick. If you write smoke, your answer will be correct. You write carbon monoxide, your answer will be correct. So they just want one, then you can give them even two. It's all right. Okay, now we come to question 2b. Apart from factories, name one other source of air pollution. So the other source of air pollution is vehicle. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are not seeing the smoke coming from the vehicle, but the vehicles, they usually produce carbon monoxide. Okay, which is hazardous to life. So vehicles, they're also one of the things that produce air pollutants. Okay, then we can also talk about the other things that brings that also contribute to air pollution is bushfire. Okay, so when there is bushfire, you will see smoke going into the air. It pollutes the air as well. Okay, describe two effects of atmospheric pollution. Two effects of atmospheric pollution. Okay, so one, it has caused global warming. I'm sure you know about that, global warming. Okay, it has brought in global warming. Then the other one, it also caused acidic rains. Okay, so there will be acidic rains that will come, and then it also causes respiratory disease. Respiratory diseases, okay, like TB and other respiratory diseases. So those are the effects of atmospheric pollution. So global warming, acidic rains, respiratory diseases, these are the things that are caused by air pollution. Okay. State two ways of preventing pollution. So two ways of preventing pollution. Now here you should also note that they haven't specified the kind of pollution they want you to eradicate. So they have just generalized to say two ways of preventing pollution. So it doesn't matter if you say you talk about land pollution, you talk about water pollution, they have generalized the question, so you don't restrict yourself to air pollution. Unless if they said state two ways to eradicate the pollution stated or described above, then you could stick to air pollution. If they said state two ways of preventing air pollution, they be specific, then you stick only to those ways you can prevent air pollution. Now, since they have generalized, that means they give you space, they give you the liberty of picking any step you can take to prevent pollution. It can be either water, land, or air. So here we're going to just to pick two of the general or specific. I can be specific in my answers, but whichever I pick, as long as it prevents one kind of form of pollution, then it's fine. So we can say one by using we say one by using energy sources that does not release fumes. Okay, that does not release fumes. Okay, that is the first one. So by changing, instead of using energy like in a factory, we use energy that will produce fumes. We can use a different method. Instead of using coal, we can use electricity, okay, to heat whatever we want to heat. Okay, we use electricity as a source of heat. Okay, then the other one is remember they want two, so the other one is the other one is by not setting fire, by not setting let me use by not starting or setting bushfire unnecessary, by not starting bush fire unnecessary, by not starting bushfire unnecessary. We have seen people who could just burn the bush unnecessary without any purpose, unless the threat of keeping the bush grass is maybe fatal. If it, let me say, if it can, you see that because of that bush, the grass which is in the bush, maybe it causes some, like, let me say, that's where maybe animals like lions can maybe hiding, and then they cause death, maybe with those reasons, and then there is no capacity to just slash them, then maybe you can set the bush on fire. or maybe there is a poisonous snake around, then you want to make the bush maybe clear so that the snakes can be far away from the community. Maybe that could be another reason that you can cause. Maybe you can start a bushfire to clear the land. Maybe there is the consequences of keeping the grass around your community is fertile, then that has got an excuse for you to set a bush on fire. Otherwise, we need to avoid that. Okay. Also, again, by channeling wastes from factories away from rivers that provide the people with the useful water. Okay, so like if you have got a factory that has got waste, that releases wastes, you make sure that you channel the drainages or the wastes that are coming from the factories to away from the water that is being used by the people, so that you don't contaminate the water. This could destroy the lives of the people and the aqua life in the water. Okay, so even if we often see otter alone, we are aware that in otter, that's where we find fish, frogs, those that supports the ecosystem. So we try to avoid dumping wastes into the river. Okay, now once we have done this question 2, we can go now to question 3. So where I'm giving 3, when they ask for 2, I give you 3. When I ask for 1, I give you 2. I just want to give you some options. Whichever you can remember in an exam, you can use it. Okay, so we go to question number 3. Okay, question number 3 is coming from the topic of plants and animals, and the question is as follows. The diagram below shows an experiment on tropism. Okay, so we have got the start here. I hope you are able to see we have got the start here and finish here. That means this experiment here, this drawing here, is when the experiment came to an end, and this is the observation that was made, and this is how it started. So this one is showing how the experiment was set, and then after some time these happens. These are where the changes. So what is important here is we should also pay attention to the changes. We should make sure we observe the changes. So I would want you to observe this part as well as this part. There are 4 parts that you need to pay attention to. This part as well as this part, how it is, and okay, these are the 8 areas you should pay attention to. You compare them. You compare this part to this part, this part to this part. What has happened? This part to this part, this part to this part. Okay, so once I've done that, then we can go ahead and answer the questions. So like I said earlier on, I want this video to be as clear as possible. So that means I'm going to be moving forth and backwards. Go to the questions, then come back to the diagram, so that we make some observation and come to the conclusion. Okay, so let's go to the questions. So the question number 3A is, which labeled part has demonstrated positive phototropism? So phototropism, this is the response toward light. Okay, this is the response towards light, and this is the response of the shoots of the plant towards light. Okay, so how has the shoot of these seedlings, you can see these, we started from here, how have these shoots responded? These are the shoots, as you can see. Okay, so these shoots, they are going upwards. So which labeled part has demonstrated positive phototropism? Now this one, as you can see, it's going upwards. Okay, it's going to and here, that's where the source of light is coming from. Remember, the sun is up in the sky, so when it shines, the light comes from the sky coming downwards. So these, the parts labeled Y, they are going upwards towards the source of light. That means these are the ones that have positive phototropism. Okay, so we're going to say Y. Okay, we're going to say Y. So the Y is the part that has responded positively towards light. Okay, so photo means light. Okay, so tropism, this is the response. So positive response of positive phototropism is exhibited by Y. Okay, positive geotropism is exhibited by X. You can see these are roots and they are facing down. When you look at this picture at the beginning, you see that the roots were pointing upwards. Now here they are bending downwards. That means these are the ones that have responded positively to geotropism. They are going down towards the earth. Okay, please remember, if you have got questions, we'll be glad to respond to your questions. Please stay with us, watch up to the end so that we revise with you extensively. Okay, we go to question number 3B, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 3B. The question is, explain why these responses are important to seedlings. Okay, why are these responses important to seedlings? Okay, so one, it is, first of all, it's going to help the shoots to grow upwards, going upwards. Okay, so we know that plants, they make food by using sunlight. Okay, what happens is in the presence of water and carbon dioxide, light, chlorophyll is going to trap the light energy that is going to be used to form energy for the plant. Okay, so it will split carbon and water and come up with energy and come up with glucose, and that is going to be used. So if the plant is growing towards the earth, then it will have no opportunity to trap sunlight. It will be learning away from sunlight. Therefore, photosynthesis will not take place. So if I come down here, because of space here, if I come down here, let me write B first. Okay, let me drag it a bit here. Okay, let me try to make it a bit bigger. Okay, so for answers for question B, okay, we say explain why these responses are important to seedlings. So you can say one, it helps the plant to position the leaf, or let me just say the leaves, the leaves, let me write leaves towards sunlight. Okay, it helps the plant to position the leaves towards sunlight. This will make it possible for the plant to as it is following the sunlight, and the leaves will be positioned towards sunlight, which will help in turn to facilitate the process of photosynthesis. Okay. The other one is it also helps the let me talk about now. Let me be specific here. If I say it, since there are two processes, it might be difficult for one to identify which one I'm talking about. So I'm saying phototropism helps the plant to position leaves towards sunlight, which facilitates photosynthesis. Then zed-Mathematics helps the plant to access underground water. Okay, so underground water. So like zed-Mathematics through the roots, it's going to help the plant access underground water, and we know that plants survive from underground water, or the water that is in the soil. Okay, no one has gone to water the plant. He wants to water the plant, and then he just put in by, maybe I don't know what means he can use. He puts water to a stem, or he puts water to a leaf. If you do such a thing, still the plant will dry up, will wilt and die. But we all pour water into the soil so that we pour water in the soil so that the roots can suck in the water into the plant. So if the roots of the plants going underward and it's going downwards, then that means it's also going to help the plant access underground water, or water in the soil. So these are the two importances of these responses. Okay, if these responses were not there, then it would be very difficult for a plant to manufacture food using photosynthesis, and also for the plants to access underground water. Okay, we go to question number C. Suggest one reason why the cotton wool must be kept moist all the time. Okay, the reason why the cotton wool should be moist all the time is because it provides, it's a source of water to the plant. Okay, so you can say because it's the source of water to the plant, or okay, let me say plants or seedlings. Okay, so that's why it should be kept moist, so that it continue providing water to the plants or seedlings. Okay, so if these they can survive and respond to these phototropism and geotropism, then they should be hot for them to survive. If they dry up, then there is no way that they can even respond to that. So apart from the nutrients in the moist cotton wool, what other nutrient is needed by the growing seedlings? Okay, so the seedlings also need nitrogen. They also need nitrogen. They also need phosphorus. They may also need potassium. They also need potassium. So these three nutrients are needed by the plant. So you can pick one of the three and to be correct. Whether you write nitrogen, phosphorus or potassium, these will be accepted. Okay, so basically these were the answers for question 3. We go to question number 4. I'm trying to be fast so that I don't waste your time. We do a lot of questions in short period of time, so we go to question number 4. So question number 4 was coming from plants and animals, and the question was as follows. The diagram below shows plant and animal cell of living organisms. Okay, then the question is before we go to the questions, you can see that all the parts here are not given names but are labeled by letters. So we'll start with the labeling the parts first. Before we go to any questions, we'll start with labeling the parts. So let's start with the A. What is A called? So A is cytoplasm. That is A. So the labeled part A is called cytoplasm. We go to B. What is B? So we know that B is nucleus. Okay, B is nucleus. So B is nucleus. Then we come to C. C is vacuum. Okay, it's vacuum. That is C. C is vacuum. Okay, remember we are labeling the plant cell. Then we come to D. D is cell membrane. That is D is the cell membrane. Then what is F? Okay, oh sorry, where am I going to F? We are at E. What is E? Okay, E, as we can see, that is cell O. Okay, that is cell O. Okay, that is cell O. Then those are the parts of a plant cell. Now we come to animal cell. This side we have got F, G, H. What is the part F? Okay, F, as you can see, that is cell membrane. That is cell membrane. Okay, we come to G. What is part G called? That is cytoplasm. Yes. We come to H. H, that is the nucleus. Okay, that is nucleus. Okay, so basically those are the answers. So we go now to answering questions. Those are the parts, not answers really, sorry for that. Those are the parts of animal and plant cell respectively. We can see that some certain parts are common in both, so that is true, they are common in both. So you just have to know that there are 3 parts that are found in animal cell as well as in plant cell. Okay, we come to the actual questions. Which labeled part is selectively permeable on the plant cell? Now, we all know that the cell membrane is the one which is selective permeable, and this means that it does not allow everything to go in. It only allows very important nutrients or substance into the cell. So in a plant cell, the cell membrane is denoted by the letter D. So we are going to write D there. Okay, then in animal cell, which letter denotes cell membrane? We have seen that it's F. So in D, we are saying F. Okay, so those are the 3 those are the 2 parts that denote a selective permeable part of these 2 cells, which is cell membrane. Okay, we go to question number B. Identify the structure F and explain its function. So the part F is the structure F is first of all, cell. What have I done again? Cell membrane. That is cell membrane. So let me just put the name here. Okay, it's F is cell membrane. So I can even say F is equal to cell membrane. Okay, then remember there are 2 marks. They have asked us, they have given us 2 marks, so they're asking us to say what is the function of cell membrane. What is the function of cell membrane in animal cell? So the function of cell membrane in animal cell, it allows what goes in the cell, or it selects. Let me use the word selects. It selects what goes in the cell. Okay, so that's a duty. It just selects what goes in the cell and what does not go in the cell. Okay, so that's what it selects, what goes in the cell and what does not go in the cell. Okay, and the other thing is the other function is it contains other parts of the cell. It also contains other parts of the cell, so that is the other function. It also contains other parts of the cell. Okay, so as you can see, when we go on the diagram, we see that this is the outer part of the animal cell. So you will see that the cytoplasm is inside, the nucleus is inside, so they are inside the cell membrane. Okay, now we go to the next question, which is question 4C, which is from the diagram, state one difference between plant cell and animal cell. One difference between plant cell and animal cell. So let's start. When we come to this these two cells. These two cells, you see that this has a regular shape and this has irregular shape. That's the first thing you note immediately looking at it without going into details, without taking notes of the details. You see that just the shape itself, it gives us the difference already. So we're going to say we can say animal cell has irregular shape well plant cell has regular shape. Okay, my spelling for regular there, I've left R. Okay, regular shape. Okay, so that is the first thing you are going to notice without you studying anything. Immediately look at the diagrams, you are going to notice that one has got irregular shape and the other one has irregular shape. That is the first observation that will be made. Okay, what is the other difference? Okay, let me try to make these small. I'm sure you're able to see them. Okay, let's go back and see now. Now let's pay attention to it. I'm just going to give you the second one. Now when you look at, let's go through the parts. Okay, you see that we have got cell hole here, but here we don't have cell hole. We have got cell membrane, we have cell membrane. We have got vacuum, here there is no vacuum. Okay, so basically these are the first two distinct differences in parts that you can see. When you consider parts, you see that cell and vacuum, they are not there. So we can pick one of the two. We can say plant cell has a vacuum, well, animal cell does not have, sorry, yeah, do not have, sorry, or does not have, yes, okay, it doesn't have, yes, and this one it is. So we go to this one. We're saying we can put a full stop and go to the next point. We're saying, let me just, I don't know, let me just see, try to push this on this side. Okay, it starts from this far so that I leave some space. Then we're saying animal cell has no cell hole, well plant cell has cell hole. Okay. So those are the two. So you can pick one of the two. Since they just want one, you can pick one of the two. Okay, let me just put the capital letter here so that it's even more clear. Let me try to put them apart a bit so that they can even be, the difference can be seen that these are two different points. Okay. All right, we go to question number 4D. State one other difference between the plant cell and animal cell not in the diagram. Now remember, there are three differences. When we look at parts of the cells, there are three differences in terms of parts. Now, when we are checking, we just noted two. Sorry, the third one we didn't see it because it's not labeled. And the one which is not labeled is the chloroplast, which is the green pigment that is found inside the cytoplasm. That gives the green color to the plant. Okay, so the chloroplast is not indicated. Many should be these bigger green parts in a plant cell, not in animal cell. I'm showing here. So this should be chloroplast. Okay, this should be chloroplast. So we can write this word, which is chloroplast. Okay, which is chloroplast. What have I done? Okay, I'm going just to delete that and put capital C there. Okay, so that is chloroplast. It's the green pigment that is found in the plant cell, and this is the one that gives green color to the leaves and or to the plants generally. So we can see state one difference. We can say plant cells. Plant cell has chloroplast, while animal cell has no chloroplast. Okay, so that is the difference that is not shown on the diagram. Plant cell has chloroplast, while animal cell has no chloroplast. Okay, so here I cannot give you more than one because it's just one that is not shown there. So this is the answer that examiners were expecting from you students, or they will expect you to write if such a question came in an exam. Let's continue solving this. Let's go to the next question. Okay, which is define the following. Okay, so we define the following. The first one is we define atom. What is an atom? So we can define an atom as the smallest unit of a chemical element. So we can say it is atom is a smallest particle of a chemical element. Okay, that is an atom. So I'll try to like that. Okay, then I'm going to put a full stop there. Now we come to element. What is an element? Okay, so we are saying an element is a substance is a substance made of one type atom. Okay, that is an element if it is made of one type of an atom. Okay, so we come to B, 5B, describe the basic structure of an atom. So let me come here. So I'm going to describe, but before I describe, I want you to see. Okay, so I want to come up with the structure of an atom, and this is the nucleus. Okay, so this is the nucleus. Let me just this is the nucleus. Okay, what am I writing there? My E has come early. Okay, nucleus. Never mind about the way I've written U as if it's Y. It's not Y. Nucleus. So inside nucleus there is proton and neutrons. There is protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. Then outside there is electrons. Okay, there are electrons. In the first shell there are only 2 electrons. Okay, then here the number of electrons depends on the number of electrons an atom has. Okay, so it has got, if it has got 8, that means the outer shell is going to have 6. Okay, so this is basically how the atom structure is. Okay, so they are asking us to describe the basic structure of an atom. So let's see, to come up with a description from this. We write a description from what I've shown you here. So we can say an atom contains neutrons and protons in the nucleus Okay, so an atom contains neutrons and protons in the nucleus and electrons in the shells. Okay, so that is the structure of the that's the basic structure of an atom. Okay, so an atom contains neutrons and protons in the nucleus and electrons in the shells. That's how it is. Okay, so definitely the markers, since it's 2 marks here, the markers would detect what he wants. So you may mark on neutrons, electrons and protons. Okay, so that's how you describe. If he gives you a tick, I'm sure he's going to offer you even 2 marks. Okay, so we can go to question number C. How many atoms are in the following molecules? Okay, so we are asked how many atoms are in the carbon dioxide. Okay, that is carbon dioxide. So I'm going to put equal to. So what is this formula saying? It's saying carbon reacts with oxygen. So there are two atoms of oxygen and 1 atom of carbon dioxide. So together they are 3 atoms. Okay, here we come on this one, hydrogen gas. There is, let me just put the equal sign, there is 2 atoms of hydrogen. Okay, there are 2 atoms of hydrogen. We go to question number 6. Okay, question number 6 is coming from the topic of human body. So the question is, the diagram below shows the human respiratory system. So we have got that. Okay, so we can label these parts. So we have got J, which is J, that is this diagram is facing us, so that will be right ranks. So that will be right ranks. Okay, those are ranks which are found on the right side. Okay, right ranks. Then let me just bring it closer. Okay, very good. We come to K. K, that is the left bronchus. So that is left bronchus. Okay, left bronchus. Then we have got L, that intercostal muscles. Those are intercostal muscles. Okay. Okay, those are intercostal muscles. If my spellings are okay, I'm not sure. Intercostal muscles. Yes, they are very, very correct. Intercostal muscles. And this is diaphragm. Okay, that is M is in diaphragm. That is diaphragm. Okay, so we have labeled the parts first, then we'll go to the questions. Then the question is, name the parts labeled J and K. So we have already, J is right lungs and K is left bronchus. Okay, now we come to second question. Explain how the structure labeled M causes inhalation of air. Okay, so to allow, so let's see, focus on the meaning of this word inhalation. Okay, so this one, inhalation, is talking as we are talking about allowing air to go inside. Okay, that is inhalation, allowing air to go inside. So what happens to diaphragm when air is going inside? So when you breathe in, what happens is, when you breathe in, this diaphragm, we can see this is diaphragm, the one going like that. When you are breathing in, this means it has to create space. That means, as you can see, let me put the diagram here. As you can see, when it goes up, it is like compressing the lungs. That means it will allow the air to go out. Now, when the air is coming in, this should come down. It should come down. Even if it doesn't come horizontally straight, at least it should go down, so that it creates the lungs, they stretch, and then the air comes in. Okay, so how can we and definitely describe what happens to the lungs when air comes in. So we can say, let me try to put it here, if the words will fit. Okay, we can say when we breathe in, diaphragm moves downwards and increases surface area in the lungs for easy breathing. So we are talking about inhalation. So I'm not going to go in exhalation, in releasing air out. I'm just going to concentrate on that. So we are going to say diaphragm goes down, diaphragm goes down, and yes, diaphragm goes downwards, which allows air to go into the lungs. Goes into the lungs. Okay, so when the air goes into the lungs, that means we have inhaled the air. So that is the simplest and the shortest way I can describe what causes inhalation of the air. So the diaphragm goes downwards, which allows air to go into the lungs. So it's like when diaphragm goes down and then the lung stretches, then there is empty space that is created, which invokes the air to go inside. You know, air will definitely occupy anything that remains empty. Okay, whatever you leave empty, air will take charge and occupy the space. So that's what happens inside our lungs. Okay, that's the best way I've felt like I can describe what happens using few words. Okay, but the meaning is phenomenal. It's very correct. Okay, we go to question C. This is even easier for you to master as a student. If you give this answer in an exam, I'm sure examiners will be able to mark you correct. We go to question C, which is identify the labeled structure which is affected by the cigarette. Okay, so the labeled structure that is affected by the cigarette is lungs. Okay, so both lungs are not only the right lungs, but both lungs are affected by cigarette. So I'm just going to put the word lungs. So I'm not going to specify which lung is affected, but I'll just write lungs, both of them. So if you smoke cigarette, whichever kind of cigarette, maybe it can be marijuana, definitely the smoke you're inhaling in is going to affect the lungs. Okay, they can also affect the windpipes, but the targeted area where the smoke goes is in the lungs. Just like when you have chimney, you'll see that the sides of the pipes, they are always dark. That means that's what happens even to your windpipes. So you should think twice if you want to get involved in smoking. You should think twice. You should think about the consequences. Okay, we go to question number D. Explain what is meant by tissue respiration. Explain what is meant by tissue respiration. Remember, I'm just going to be trying to be brief in my answers, so that it's easier for you viewers, more especially the grade 9s, to master that. I'm not trying to maybe degrade you or not to appreciate you. I know our grade 9s are very they are very intelligent. You cannot be in grade 9 if you are not intelligent, but the purpose of this video is to make things easier for you. If you are already intelligent, this video is going to make you super intelligent. So I'm just going to be trying to be so brief. So if you have got problems with that, you can ask in the comment section. Definitely I'll give you a good session of what I mean, or I can respond in the comment section what I mean by those brief answers. Okay, so when we talk about tissue respiration, what we're trying to say here is the exchange of gases between blood and tissues. The exchange of gases. So I can say what is tissue respiration. So I can start by saying tissue respiration is the exchange of gases between blood and tissues. The exchange of gases between blood and tissues. That's all. So the exchange of gases between blood and tissues is called tissue respiration. Okay, unless if you want me to go in details, which will make this video to be longer. I don't want this video to be longer, but definitely that is how I can summarize tissue respiration. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Like I said earlier on, I'll be glad to respond to your questions. With that said, let's go to the next question, which is question 7. Okay, so question 7 was coming from the topic of health. Okay, so the first question of question 7 is explain 2 ways in which one can get infected with HIV and AIDS. So they want us to state 2 mode of transmission of HIV and AIDS. So the first one is having, sorry, where am I writing? Okay, no, where? So the first one is 1, having unprotected sex. Okay, unprotected sex. There is one thing I always tell my learners. One of it is we just have to be patient with sex. We found sex. We're going to die and leave sex behind. This is the thing that we can just be patient with and focus on things that sometimes we can learn out of time. Okay, basically it's very difficult even for a girl child to get pregnant when she's in grade 9, have a child and come back to school and complete. This is very a tough task to do. or get married and go back to school. This is the tough things to do. More especially that some men wouldn't support their wives to go back to school. Some men wouldn't want to see their wives do better than them. I don't know why. So that's why it's very important that as a girl child, you take time, spend your time for schooling, definitely for school, so that you avoid unnecessary inconveniences. Okay, so you can do this by just abstaining. You don't get involved in sexual activities. Okay, so that is the other one. And the other way that can lead to contraction of HIV or AIDS is sharing sharp tools with an infected person. Although in this instance, I need to go a bit to be specific. It's not just really sharing the sharp tool. This sharp tool should also be contaminated. Okay, so if I'm cutting nails, I'm HIV infected, then immediately I finish cutting nails, and then there are some blood stains, or I've cut myself where blood has come out, and the nail cutter is stained, or the razor blade I'm using is stained with blood, then I use it. Sometimes the blood cannot be visible to your eye or eyes, but it can be contaminated. That means if I give to somebody who is not HIV positive and he uses the same razor blade, then he or she cuts herself or himself, that means that person is going to contract HIV or AIDS. I don't know if I've tried to explain what I mean here. So sharing sharp tools, let me say sharing HIV contaminated HIV contaminated sharp tools. Okay, those, so meaning this sharp tool should be contaminated with the HIV virus on it. Okay, that is the other way you can contract HIV or AIDS. Okay, so I don't know, space is not being friendly with me. That's why I'll just give you two instead of three. So those are the two ways you can contract HIV or AIDS. Okay, then there is also another one which I'll just mention. I'm not going to write. The other one is also by conducting blood transfusion, even if this contributes a very minimal percentage to those, because most of the time before the blood is put into another person, it is first tested for HIV or AIDS. So the person, before they get blood from the person, they will test that person for HIV or AIDS if he has got a virus, unless in a special occasion, like for instance, if maybe the person contracted that disease maybe some few days and it's not visible. I don't know, doctors who are experts can explain on this very well. Then maybe with that, then maybe they get the blood that has HIV AIDS but is not detectable, then that way AIDS can be transferred to somebody through blood transfusion. Okay, so maybe that's way. So those are the three ways in which HIV or AIDS can be transmitted. Okay, so now we come to question number Number 7b, apart from HIV and AIDS, state two other sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, so one is syphilis. Okay, syphilis. One is syphilis. So if you are having sex without protection, you may contract syphilis. The other one is gonorrhea. Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea, let me see. Gonorrhea. The other one is gonorrhea. Okay. Those are not the only two diseases you can contract. You can also contract herpes. So please, herpes. Okay, the other one is you can contract herpes. Then question 7c is describe two impacts of HIV and AIDS on the Zambian population. So what are the impacts of HIV or AIDS? So one, HIV or AIDS has brought increase it has brought increase in orphans. It has brought increase in Okay, so question C, we are saying increase in orphans. The other one, so we asked to describe impact of HIV on Zambian population. So one, increase in orphans. So we have a lot of orphans with the introduction of HIV. There have been increase in orphans. And then there is also government expenses on drugs. So there is increase on government expenses buying ARVs. These ARVs are offered to patients or to people who have got HIV or AIDS freely, and that means the government purchase on behalf of the people. Okay, so it has brought increase in government expenses. Okay, it has brought increase in government expenses on it has brought increase on government expenses, that is now purchasing. So I can say as in government purchases ARVs for its, let me just say for its for its, okay, for the public, let me say for the public. Okay, so government will buy ARVs for the public. Let me see if you have got capital letters ARVs there. Nope. So we don't have, so it's just going to be like that. Okay, so increase in government expenses as government purchase ARVs for the public, okay, for the public. Okay, so no one has gone to the hospital and asked to buy ARVs. These ARVs, they are there for the public on free of charge. So nothing is the public pay. Okay, then the other one, since they're asking for two, the other one, there is not only increase in orphans, there is also increase in children headed homes. Okay, there's also increase in child headed homes. Okay, so this happens whereby the parents are infected with HIV or AIDS. That means they will be always sick. So that means the oldest child is going to resume the responsibility of being a leader of the home. He's going to scout for money, to pay rentals, to buy food, anything that is related to the expenses for the home. It's going to be done by the child. Okay, he is also going to make sure that the parents gets correct medical attention. So such things you see is left in the hands of the oldest child in the home. So there is also an increase in these child-headed homes ever since HIV attacked us. Okay, a lot of people have died leaving children alone. So with the difficulty in economy, some relatives don't even come in to chip in to see that they alleviate the problems children are going through. Therefore, the eldest child will take responsibility and look after the younger ones. Okay, and in most cases, I've seen that decisions that are made by these children, sometimes they are not wise. More especially if it's the eldest is a girl. I'm just trying to be honest here. If the oldest is a female, they end up getting into sexual activities, becoming prostitutes, with the defense to say, how am I going to find food for my young siblings? Such excuses. I do sympathize with the situation that people go through, but I would encourage people going through such situations to resort to other alternatives. There are always options. Even if it's not scientifically proven, I have a strong belief that there is God who plans for everyone. Whatever happens to us, it's not accident to God. Maybe to us it may be an accident. We never saw it coming, but with God, nothing happens as an accident. Sometimes God takes away people can take care of us in order to make him our father. Okay, he may take your physical father away for him to become your father. So if you take your problems to God, you might even see that things work better than even when your father was alive. So never should you resort to bad vices because your parents have gone. There is always an option. If you choose the right way, it may be tough at the beginning, but if you insist on doing the right thing, God is going to reward you. Okay, I know these words are very difficult to take by somebody who's going through tough time, but that is the best decision you can make in life. Most of the people that have made such decisions, they ended up smiling. But if you go with the prostitution, you end up crying. Okay, so let's go to question 8. So question 8 was also coming from plants and animals. So the question is as follows. In the recent past, human activities have increased the rate of extinction of species of organisms. So question 8A is state two kinds of human activities which lead to extinction of species. So number one, the first activity is let me say charcoal burning. Charcoal burning. This activity has led to extinction of some species like trees. Some of the trees have been used. The other one is poaching. So when we talk about poaching, okay, when I talk about poaching, I talk about killing animals and love, because of selfishness of people or people hungry for wealth. They end up going into national parks, killing animals, elephants for their tusks, also killing other different animals for their meat, and then they sell and they make money from that. And the unfortunate part is that you can see someone doing this, selling bushmeat to you, and then you buy and you don't report this person, okay, is benefiting alone in something that he should be benefited by the entire nation. So this is bad. Now, why is it bad? When someone is poaching, he doesn't consider the number of animals that are in that park, and he doesn't know if we have got plenty of animals or not. Okay, for instance, someone will go and kill the only elephant in the national park, and the breed is gone, and no one knows. So this kind of behavior like poaching is very difficult. But if the law of killing of animals, bush animals, is done, the people in charge of these parks, they know the numbers of animals they have, so they would advise whether to go ahead and kill the elephant or not, okay, depending on the numbers the country has. But with poaching, when people go and kill animal and love, then there is no way the poacher will know that this animal is about, maybe there are not enough numbers of this kind of animals. They will just aim to kill and carry the whatever they want to carry and go and sell it. So those activities are very bad. Remember, we are answering the question which is state two kinds of human activities which can lead to extinction of species. So those are the two activities, as well as the other one which is smuggling of timbers. Okay, so like mukwa is on high demand, therefore people would want to smuggle this timber to other parts where there is no timber for them to fetch a lot of money for themselves. Now, because of the demand of these timber, then people will be like cutting them uncontrollably in search for them to earn a living or to fetch money for them to be wealthy. So those are the three activities that has led to extinction of species. So you can pick two from those three and write them. We come to question 8B, which is give reasons why the species listed below are facing extinction. So why elephants being killed? The elephants are not being killed for their meat, or they are not killed for their meat, but for their tusks. So elephants are killed for tusks. Okay, the two white things you see, which mostly we refer to as teeth, those are the reasons why elephants are being killed. So the reason is tusks. So they are killed for their tusks, which are very expensive. Okay, tusks which are sold at an exorbitant price. Exorbitant price. Okay, so they are sold at an exorbitant price. Okay, so these tusks, when the elephant is killed, the poacher will remove the tusks. Then the tusks are sold on higher price. They are very expensive, in fact. So they are sold at a higher price. Okay, so that's why elephants are killed. It's just to get the tusks from the elephants. Okay, the other one is mukwa. These are very hard wood. So why do people cut mukwa? So they cut mukwa to make furnitures. Okay, to make furnitures. Okay, so people would cut mukwa to make furnitures because mukwa to make furnitures. Okay, mukwa to make furniture. Mukwa is very strong. When you make a furniture, it will last longer. So these are the reason why people would cut mukwa. Okay. Question C is as follows. Explain loss of species affects the agriculture. Explain how loss of species affects the agricultural sector. So they just want us to give to give one reason. One, how does this affect agriculture? So when there is a lot of cutting of trees, that means there will be drought. Okay, it causes drought. Then that means there will be no good harvest. So how does it affect how the loss of species affect agriculture? Then it also makes the people the farmers not to have a good harvest to provide food for the ever-growing population. So I can say it affects the agriculture negatively. It affects agriculture negatively. That means in brackets, let me say poor harvest. Okay, poor harvest is encountered. Okay, Number D, give one benefit to protecting endangered species. So if you protect endangered species like animals, that is going to be a source of income in future. Right? It provides a future source of income. It provides future revenue. Okay, future revenue for the generations to come. Okay, so I know this one sounds to be some people wouldn't care. They wouldn't mind about the people to come. They are grandchildren, grandchildren, their great grandchildren. They wouldn't care about them, but it's very important. So whatever benefits these animals are giving to us today, these are the same benefits if we preserve these animals, they can give to the future generation. Okay, since they want one, we can also say it will provide or they will provide nutrients to future generation. So if animals provide protein to us, that means they will do the same in future. Okay, they will do the same in future. They will provide they will also provide they also provide future revenues to our future generation. So it's very important that we preserve this so that even our great grandchildren will going to benefit from this. Okay, so basically these were the answers you can write. Possibly all of them they can be accepted. However, if you have got a different answer on different question, we will be glad to learn from you. Otherwise, let's go to the next question. Okay, so the next question is coming from electricity. So the diagram below shows an electric circuit. So this is an electric circuit. So the first question is asking us to on the circuit diagram in the answer booklet, press the correct position for the A ammeter. So where will ammeter be? Okay, so the ammeter should be in the series. So it will be in the series. So it will be here. Okay, so here we can position the ammeter. Okay. 2, where can we put the voltmeter? So the voltmeter should be in parallel with the cells. So we can even draw something like here. And then we put the voltmeter here. Okay. It should be in parallel with the series. So if it's here, you can also draw something like this. And then you put the voltmeter here. Okay. Unless if you have got questions, but basically that's what it should be. Identify the part labeled N. Let's go there. Oh, I didn't even see that there is N in the letter there. And that is what? what do we call that? That is switch. Okay, that is switch. You need to make sure that you pay attention to the diagram you study, and you note if there is a letter, you make sure you identify the letter. So we go there and say the n is equal to switch. Okay, that is switch. All right, then we come to state the type of connection of bulbs 1 and 2. Bulbs 1 and 2 are connected in parallel, so we say that is parallel. Okay, that is parallel. Okay, that is parallel. The connection type is parallel. The bulbs are not connected. They are connected in parallel, bulb 1 and 2. Okay, even though bulb 2 is in series, so definitely altogether 1 and 2, when we put them into consideration, that will be parallel. They are connected in parallel. Okay, why is the best to connect bulbs in the types of arrangement you stated above? So why is it good to connect bulbs in parallel? Okay, so one, let me go. One, that means it's going to, when you connect, so one, why is it possible? That means each bulb is going to enjoy the full voltage of battery. It's going to enjoy the full voltage of the battery. Okay, so the question is, why is it best to connect bulbs in the types of arrangement you stated in C above? So the advantage is each bulb enjoy full voltage of the battery. Okay, so that is, so meaning when you connect the bulbs like the way they are connected, that means each bulb is going to get the same voltage. Okay, each bulb is going to get the same voltage, which is coming from these from the negative and the positive. So since we have got these two cells, depending on the their sizes, if it's together they are making 3 volts, that means each bulb is going to enjoy 3 volts. Okay, we come to the next question, which is question, give one example of the use of electric current in our homes. So the use of electricity in our homes, we have talked about writing the bulbs. The other one is we use electricity energy to play music. Okay, so we can say one, to play music. Okay, to play music, yeah, that's what we do. If you have got a home theater at home, you are going to connect it to electric circuit or the source of electric current, and then you start using it. Okay, and what other things do we use? We use electricity to charge our phone. That is, every home has a phone now. So if you want to charge the phone, you connect it to the source of electric current. So to charge the phone, okay. We use also, I'm sure they just want one, so we can pick one of the two, then the other two will be the correct answer. Okay, so basically that's how we use electricity in our homes. So we go to the question number 10, last but not the least. Okay, so question number 10 is coming from the topic of materials and energy, and the question is as follows. The diagram shows charcoal burning on the brazier and used to treat water in a kettle. Okay, so you can see that is the kettle. We have got brazier and we have got charcoal there. So the first question, when you go to the question, is define energy. When you hear someone talks about energy, what comes into your mind? So energy is ability to do work. Okay, so energy is ability. You don't have to complicate this answer. Ability to do work. So the ability to do work is called energy. Okay, so if you are able to do work, that means you have got energy, because the only thing that will allow you to do work is energy. Without energy, you can't do work. There is nothing that can happen without energy. Okay, if you want to play music, there should be electric energy. The way I'm using the computer, there should be electrical energy. Whatever you do, there should be electrical energy for something to take place. Okay, what form of energy is possessed by charcoal before it is burnt? The energy that is possessed in the charcoal is chemical energy. There is chemical energy in the charcoal that is not burnt. There is chemical energy in the charcoal that is not burnt. Okay, we come to number B, 10B. Describe the energy change which takes place as the charcoal burns. Okay, so the energy that takes place, what happens, the chemical change, the energy change that happens when the charcoal is being burnt. So the chemical energy changes into heat energy. So we're going to say chemical energy changes into heat energy. Okay, that is what is happening when the charcoal burns. The chemical energy in the charcoal changes into heat energy. Okay, all right. Now we go to question number 10C. Explain how environment is affected when energy is produced using hydroelectricity station. Okay, hydroelectric power station. So the effect of environment. So first of all, hydroelectric power station does not emit fumes. So when this is generated, it does not pollute the environment. However, what happens is that it affects just the aqua life, as the fish in the pond will not migrate from certain area to another area. Okay, so it just distracts the migration of fish. However, the cardinal one here is it does not cause air pollution. So the effect is there is no much effect. Okay, there are no much effect, so we can say the effect to the environment is I don't know, there is no effect that um mm, there is no effect or negative, let me say there is no negative effect to the environment. There is no negative effect to the environment. There is no negative effect to the environment. Environment. There is no negative effect to the environment. Okay. Okay. Here the effect explain how the environment is affected when energy is produced using fuel. Then the environment there is we can say it causes air pollution. It causes air pollution. Okay, so when you use fossil fuel, it causes air pollution. Okay, so it pollutes the air. Okay, suggest one way in which energy can be conserved. Okay, so one way in which you can conserve energy, one is by switching off electric appliances that are not in use. Okay. So you make sure that you switch off the appliances that are not in use. Okay, switching off appliances, electric appliances that are not in use. So you make sure you don't leave anything that you're not using on. So if you're not using the room, you switch off the bulb so that you save energy. Okay, if you are done cooking, you make sure you switch off your stove or cooker you're using. If you see like the way it's cold now, you see that whatever you have put in the fridge, it has frozen. You can take time and switch it off, but be mindful that you don't forget that the refrigerator is switched off, because things in the fridge may go bad. You make sure, if you say maybe after 2 hours you switch it on, after you see that there is a defrost a bit, then you switch it on, then you do as wise. But you can still use other ways of conserving energy. Remember, energy is supposed to be conserved. We need to use energy wisely, more especially electricity, as this is the one of the energy that is on high demand. Okay, so basically these were the answers we are supposed to write. They can be different because some questions have got a variety of answers which are correct. So basically this is how you are supposed to answer the questions. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, from me, I'm saying please, if you found this video helpful, remember to like it and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, we beg you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you stay with us throughout your academic journey. And we also ask you to share with your friends so that we can have a lot of people on our channel. And don't forget to tell us how this video has impacted your life in the comment section. Otherwise, Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you and may God be with you as you write your exams. It has been Easy Learning Z Mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video.